David Martinez. Tupac simply had the greatest delivery in the history of rap. Not the lyricist that Eminem was, but his words hit deep with both the urban and suburban areas. He was the first rapper that I can remember resonating with both white and non-white audiences. The good die young, and there is no greater example of that than Tupac. There is no telling the impact he would have on society these days had he lived. That was because you mentioned that he was you would have put him on your Mount
Well,
Rushmore
I mean,
of
yeah,
rap, right?
he was my favorite, but I mean, if I had to pick a moment in time when I knew that this was going to be like, it was basically when the Chronic came out, when that vinyl came out, the Chronic, it was like, wow. Because I remember me and Austin listened to like, it's like listen like that and like this and
Steve?
yeah.
I would never have
Yes,
pegged
yeah.
this.
I bought the cassette. We were going up and down the road, and we listened to the Chronic for like 4 straight days.
That's amazing. That's shocking to me.
But we also listened to fucking when Janet Jackson got like in super hot shape. That's the way love goes. What it is that whole album. Like we listened to that. Like
Damn. No Merle? No Merle Haggard?
not no. Steve was a George Strait guy. Steve liked George Strait. One of Steve's favorites was Queensryche.
The rock
The
band. Yeah.
Yeah, he really that was one that we listened to that a lot.
This interesting aspect of the wrestling business that is worth exploring. The cassettes in the car. What do you bring?
Yeah,
Like, and who's in charge? Like, if you're the wheelman, if you're driving, is it your radio?
yeah. Usually it's the driver's it's driver's choice.
And would you personally, if there were objections to what you were listening to, would you turn it off?
I would I wouldn't stronghold the fact that I'm going to play this the whole ride, but I might listen to it for 20 minutes. But I would also, I mean, I knew Merle Haggard's 10 epic hits. I knew every word on every one of those songs because
Thanks to Scott.
yeah, and Michael's too.
Oh,
And
really?
see, and
Sure.
then they got broken by Henning.
That's right.
Kurt was a huge Merle, and then like I guess that whole Minnesota crew because I know that Rude liked Hank Jr.
Uh,
and then he liked Wayland. It was
Waylon
like,
Jennings.
and then George Jones, and then I remember God being on like a European trip, and I don't know if it was Taker or somebody else like pulled out a DVD that was like early Conway Twitty. That was like
You sure it wasn't Ron Simmons that did that? No,
no, I don't think it was
no, I was
wrong.
kidding. Oh, okay.
But I mean, it was just but see, Yoke was straight up, West Coast rap. So
Rap. Yeah, that's what I
yeah,
thought.
and it was like Yoke didn't give a fuck if it was a 9 hour bus ride. He was playing what the fuck he wanted to
NWA the
play.
whole
He,
time. Yeah.
he didn't give a shit. He was playing his stuff. You didn't like it, get the fuck off his
All his
bus.
boys, Rikishi, same shit. All
But
right, so
that's
let me
but
go
that, but that
through.
was that was the way it went though. It was like I was more than happy to sit on Yoke's bus.
So let me go through. So I'll throw out a name. You tell me what they would have put in. Waltman would have been. You said Merle.
Waltman, nah, Sean go all over the place. Sean wasn't
Classic rock.
anywhere. He'd listen to R&B. He'd listen to
Scott.
he was a more like. But later, like once we started the NWO run, we listened to a lot of West Coast rap.
Helped with the attitude a little bit, a little persona that you were
Yeah,
adopting.
I mean, because
Black and white.
yeah, they weren't they just weren't they weren't pushing any black wrestlers. So like we ended up having to be
You were the blackest thing on the roster.
we had to represent. Well, but
You and D-Lo.
you knew that it was the it was the the thing that was down. It was the the current thing. It was the poppus of the pop culture at that time, and fuck it, man.
Right.
And I enjoyed it, so I didn't have a problem with it.
What would surprise me about someone's listening tastes? Like, I know people enjoyed when on one of our shows I asked you for a guilty pleasure, and you gave me Spandau Ballet. So what
But
would
I think
surprise me?
everybody likes. I mean, I don't know anybody that doesn't. If that song comes on in their car, they don't sing
True.
it. Yeah.
So true. But what would surprise me? Who had a most eclectic taste where, like, maybe, I don't know, something like classical might have been put on by
No,
Taker or
I
something.
never heard classical.
Opera?
No.
God, nothing would get me more psyched before a fucking huge match than like the aria from Nessun Dorma.
There'd be some like I don't think anybody dislikes Sinatra. I think everybody kind of generally likes Elvis. Like it was always like if you go to like Triple H, Paul, like he's a huge Kiss fan, Motorhead.
Mm-hmm.
But like he was I wouldn't have when I met him, I was surprised he was a Kiss fan.
Yeah, I was a huge Kiss fan. I could hang with Paul. We could talk Kiss. Because that's what he'd want to do if he ran into me. Sit down and talk about the Ace Frehley days versus the anyone else days. Okay. Brody Clone says no Florida man or Jersey guy. I'm gonna riot. Well, Brody, don't worry about it. It's back this week. Okay?
Oh God!
If you you hit it last week though. 2 weeks ago, the last one we did, you got it. So
Delbert. Now it's almost like it's like a carny game. It's kind of like a 50-50. I'm throwing fucking.
You're still well above 50-50.
I'm throwing darts at a fucking balloon. It's some carny thing with a fan on the side blowing the balloons around.
All right, I'm gonna give you a Florida guy jersey. Guy drives a car into a 7-Eleven. Guy drives a car into an Acme. Pick it. Humberto Ramos. Hey, Kev. Ask a rap fan, did you ever listen to or have you heard of D12? Eminem's homies, all from Detroit. R.I.P. proof. You know them. Okay. D12, Kev, and Humberto give their shout out. And Jen, this Wednesday is my birthday. For an early gift, can I get Dining Kev? It will be 52 trips around the sun for me. For an early gift, can I get Dining Kev? You mean you want to have dinner with Kev or another story from Dining? Signing, maybe? Get a signing from Kev? Jen, type back in what you mean there. So you're turning 52. It all started going downhill from fucking. Oh, maybe singing. Oh, a happy birthday for Jen? I don't know.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jen. Happy birthday to you.
God, that cost you a fortune on Cameo. This is amazing. Jen, you got to isolate that.